So, last time we saw Superman decide to destroy a town in the process of beating up Captain Marvel so that he could destroy a fusion reactor giving free energy to poor people. Well, the fake news journalists out there, they somehow managed to find a negative spin on that story. So the JLU could really use some help with their reputation in general, and the Man of Steel in particular. So it's a good thing Superman comes to the rescue when some yahoo from Apocalypse shows up to start causing mayhem in his plot to take over the world, which usually starts by breaking as much of the world as possible. Superman has Captain Atom backing him up, although when Captain Atom gets frozen, it's down to Superman to do what seems to be his strength this week: destroy buildings. Captain Atom finally gets back into it, and since it's a bad idea to shoot energy at a guy who controls energy, the supervillain is soon knocked flat on his ass, allowing Superman to activate the bad guy's Send Me Back to Apocalypse pager and gets him out of there, which allows Lois to then show up and remind Superman that he needs to fight some crime in her pants. While Captain Atom is on his way home, though, General Eiling intercepts him. Seems that his commission is being reactivated. It's always a danger when you've got a name like that. That's why Carol Danvers stayed Ms. Marvel for so long, to avoid getting dragged back into the military if she called herself Captain Marvel. Meanwhile, Superman has decided to take Lois to the top of a bridge for a picnic, but she intrudes on this hyper-romantic moment to point out that things are looking rather grim at the moment. The League is looking kind of bad to people.
I'll admit, we got a lot of power, but we only use it to help.
Like when you and Captain Marvel wrecked Lexor City on national television?
I bet it helped the ratings on national television. CNN probably kept busy for a week thanks to that one.
We come on a little strong sometimes, but it's for the people's own good.
That sounds like something Lex would say.
Don't even joke about that. I'm nothing like Lex Luthor.
Just take a look at how thick my hair is. Question's date is going better. He's taken Huntress out to steal computer files while she beats up a bunch of security guards. It's great when a couple can both do things that they enjoy.
If there's a link between Luthor and Cadmus, I'll find it here.
Which leaves the rest of our evening tantalizingly free.
There are 3 terabytes of data here. I'll be busy for days. Oh, dinner and a movie?
It's a start.
Sticking it there makes sure that he visits that spot later. The downside to sleeping with a conspiracy theorist is they figure they have proof that the erogenous zone can be found in your shin. Professor Hamilton, remember, he reported on the stolen kryptonite that lured Superman into making an ass of himself back in Clash. Well, he tells Lex Luthor that his cancer caused by the kryptonite is gone. Not the stolen kryptonite, other kryptonite. Lex says kryptonite coming out the wazoo. It's probably why he got cancer of the wazoo, actually.
That's preposterous.
You've got the body of a 20-year-old.
Yes, I keep it in a jar. Were you going through my things again? But with the good news about no cancer comes bad news about how the Question stole those files. And boy, those files are a doozy. It drives Question to babble nonsense. Allow me to rephrase. It drives Question to go on in such a serious and earnest manner that it must be something bad. And sure enough, Huntress swings by to check up on him and sees it, a recording of the alternate Justice Lord's universe when Superman kills Luthor. Question swings by to ask Superman about that, something that they discuss in private because, even among the League, some things aren't for everyone's ears. Apparently, Justice Lord Superman's execution of President Luthor was kept a secret, and secrets have a habit of making Question even more suspicious. He's convinced that history is repeating itself. Superman has already been willing to try to lobotomize Doomsday, just like his Justice Lord counterpart did. And then there's the fact that Luthor is running for president.
Armed watchtower with an army of proactive heroes. Luthor running for president, if it's not quite the same. It soon will be. Have you seen Amanda Waller's computer simulations?
Batman told me about them.
You don't deserve to live!
Batman told me about them.
Did he tell you all the models predict that a war between the Justice League and the government will devastate the planet?
We would never fight the government.
Not even if Luthor was the government?
It'd be a lot easier to say no if they weren't still carting away the rubble from Clash, huh? Superman tries to talk Question down off the ledge, but it's a bit like cigarette-smoking man telling Mulder that aliens are really just guys in rubber suits. The listener just isn't going to accept it from that particular messenger. So Question determines that there is only one way to avoid this situation. Take the linchpin of the whole mess out of the equation. So he visits Lex Luthor in his office full of shark tanks because, as a presidential candidate, naturally Luthor wants a positive image. But Question explains his plan. He's going to kill Luthor before Superman is forced to.
I'm a well-known crackpot. The Justice League's reputation will survive my actions, and Superman's legacy will remain intact.
This development is very interesting. Not only is a hero about to commit cold-blooded murder in a children's cartoon, but realize who this is and what his motives are. Question and Captain Atom were both sources for the heroes of Alan Moore's famous Watchmen, with Question's character being turned into Rorschach, who, spoilers in 3, 2, 1, was also involved in an event with the end of the world, but rather than trying to prevent it, he was trying to expose the attempt to prevent it, show that it was a deception. And he cared so much about exposing the truth that he would rather die than join in the deception. In contrast, though, Question wants to save the world, even if it means he'll be publicly destroyed for it. One is prepared to die, the other is prepared to murder. Well, it turns out it doesn't even matter. Luthor is suddenly, inexplicably super strong now, and mops the floor with Question, all while gloating that he has no interest in actually winning the election. But that doesn't change Question's nightmares, as he is subjected to such images as Luthor being sworn in, murdering Flash, Superman kicking off the end of the world, endless looping until he talks. And he does. It's just, asking a conspiracy theorist to spill secrets is like pulling the handle on a slot machine of crazy. There's something that shows up every time, sure, but odds are it's a combination that's not really useful to you. Unless you're interested in learning how peanut allergies are the result of a CIA experiment that escaped from a lab, a conspiracy theorist is really not useful for pumping for information.
Fluoride doesn't prevent tooth decay. It does render teeth detectable by spy satellite.
Well, Huntress is concerned, but she and the League aren't exactly on speaking terms after what happened. So, to further get in their good graces, she captures Jimmy Olsen to use his special watch to call Superman to help her find Question. Supes isn't too happy about having his pal kidnapped, but on learning what's up with the Question, he puts that aside. He's already hit his quota for beating up fellow superheroes for the month after all. They figure this must be Cadmus, so Superman leads the charge. Just him and Huntress, no involving the League. Superman is now leading a black operation. That's where things have gone. It could be argued that they're crossing the line now, but it'd also be argued that Cadmus escalated it by kidnapping one of the League's own. Now, obviously, we know that's not what happened, but there's no way that Superman and Huntress could have known that Question was trying to murder Luthor after all. Normally, he wouldn't get up to such questionable behavior. Well, you know what I mean. Superman takes the opportunity to hash things out with Hamilton, spreading fear that the heroes of Earth are out of control. And the thing is that Professor Hamilton is being legitimate when he talks about his fear, because the moment Superman leaves, Hamilton almost doubles over, panting in the wake of the adrenaline rush of terror that has come and gone. Being in the presence of someone who can kill him without twitching a muscle? Hey, it's understandable. Of course, we know that whatever anyone else thinks, no matter what he might do to houses built for the poor, Superman is not a killer.
Good enough.
Now her, she's going to so fill this guy with bolts he's going to look like a sea urchin. But rescuing Question is more important, so she leaves the guy to go grab her boyfriend. Only, there's a whole new problem. Captain Atom has shown up. And apparently his orders are to assist Cadmus, including keeping the Question here. Well, that's not going to happen, so looks like Superman's going to go over his quota on fighting other superheroes, huh? But what's going to happen? We find out next month.
bathroom before you leave for a mission.
Let's go.